All right, you guys, I have a very different setup than what I normally have, but I was just chilling in this area and I'm like, this is where I want to stay to record this video. Hi, if you guys, if you don't know me, my name is Kiki Sita. I am a collective visionary, which means that I get visions for the collective for future of humanity and what's to come and what's happening right now with this shift of new earth frequencies coming into the planet. Very strong, full force coming in, very, very excited. And as you know, in previous videos, I talk a lot about the state of the world right now and in contrast, what the New Earth Collective looks like. I also use my claircognizant and clairvoyant abilities to take a look at people's timelines and their energetic fields on an individual basis and give them guidance by channeling their highest self, their spirit guides, ascended masters, their entire metaphysical team that is here to help them and help support them. So today I'm going to get into random things that I have channeled about what the new earth paradigm is going to look like. But I want to prefix this with saying that the whole point of creating these ideas consciously with your mind and envisioning them, if these visions don't come naturally to you already, if you're not naturally getting these downloads, I want to encourage you to start thinking about the things that you would want to see here on Earth, because we've got plenty of examples of things that we don't want. And that smorgasbord is just getting bigger and bigger. And that atmosphere is getting thicker and thicker. And it's getting harder to live in. There's ample amounts of corruption and gaslighting and really obscene circumstances that we're asked to live with right now. And not only asked to live with, but basically being gaslit to be like, Andy, you should be happy, right? But everything is created at a conscious level before it funnels down into the physical realm. Everything that you see around you, consciousness and vision has always preluded funneling down into this last form of manifestation. The majority of the vortex is vibrational. And then when it finalizes into its last point of manifestation, that is when we finally see it in the physical realm. That's when we can feel it with our five senses. That's when we can taste it, touch it, smell it, see it with these eyes. But you have to be able to see it with this eye before you see it with these eyes. And that's the golden rule. That is the order of creation. That's just how it is. And so when you catch yourself thinking, or if you hear other people saying that there's really no point in envisioning things because it's not reality, I want you to remind yourself or remind them that this is the correct order of creation. Our human consciousness is the most powerful currency on the planet. And it is the gathering of collective souls having the same intention and envisioning the same outcome that creates worlds. And that's why they do an incredible job to try to keep your consciousness distracted, wrapped up, dummied down, controlled, propagandized, programmed, all of the things. So I just want to go through this list that I made, and I tuned in for like a couple minutes and just got some visions, and I want to share those with you. They're not in order, so they kind of bounce around, but I'm just going to read them out to you here. So I asked, what does the new earth look like? And it said the skies are clear. They're not whitewashed like they are now. The colors are really vibrant. We don't see it very often, but when you see like a bluebird sky day, it's not as blue as it can be. Let's just say that. So the colors were more vibrant. Those big puffy cumulus clouds were back, not this whitewashed sky that we have right now. The veil of haziness that is veiled over top of the vibrancy of all colors, not just the sky, but the vegetation, but the trees, the water, everything was going to be lifted. There is a veil that's making everything less vibrant. It's making everything kind of hazy. And there's no chemtrails. The other point that ties in with that is that atomic gold will actually be used and sprayed in the skies to mitigate any climate damage. That will actually clear the skies up, and it will increase the health and vitality and vibration of all living things, because we are living in the atmosphere, breathing the atmospheric air, and all living things respond to it. So atomic gold specifically was going to be used as a resource in a way that it has never been valued here on Earth. Right now, we value gold as like a currency, and we hoard it as like it's money, 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 right? But it's a natural resource that is plentiful, and we can use it in such a way that it can bring complete restorative qualities and life back to every living thing. And it will also mitigate the climate damage that has been done by the chemtrails and by chemical burnings and trash and you name it. Because of this, the plants and trees will flourish and the bees will be back. There was new living species as well that were coming online. Lots of mushrooms that were actually going to be used. Mushrooms are an extreme form of intelligence, and they were going to be used to decompose things that need to be decomposed. The cycle of life, right? Death. Even Chernobyl right now has mushrooms that are apparently eating the radioactive material and bringing new life back to the area. The oceans were completely cleaned up, and no more oil spills and everything. We're going to talk about free energy. The mismanagement of natural resources for profit is a thing of the past. There was no more guise of environmental or sustainable for the normies. And then there's no rules for people at the top for profit, right? That's all they care about at the top. There was going to be nothing like that. Only pure, honest, and authentic souls will even rise to roles of leadership. It was going to be like a natural conviction within them that these heart-centered, compassionate, honest, pure, authentic souls will rise into roles of leadership. And even then, it's not going to be like a pyramid, top-down hierarchy. There's going to be none of that. It's going to be a circle. So if you think about just shapes going from a pyramid to a circle, a collaborative circle, preventative and integrative healing will be encouraged, and it's going to be everywhere. Like, everything is already going to be high vibrational. Like when you walk into a building, the building itself, the architecture of it will be designed in such a way that it is circulating healing vibration. It's high vibrational. The music that you hear is going to be filled with good frequencies. Right now, we have an entire Illuminati system with a music system that is all designed with frequencies embedded in it to keep you dummied down, suppressed, all the things. Also satanic. There was going to be so instead of hospitals that were overrun and staffed with burnt out nurses, which there's no way any of these nurses that are working that hard can maintain a balanced and harmonious lifestyle. I know firsthand because I work with a lot of them. There was going to be none of that. They were going to be people that fully really enjoy what they're doing. And at the same time that they're helping other people, they were also going to benefit because they were going to be in the same healing environment as all of these people that are getting well. The hospitals were going to be a place of healing and wellness. So the staff that worked there was going to also benefit from that. There was going to be healing through sound, frequency, music, sunlight, detoxing. Eventually, there's not going to be a whole heck of a lot to detox from because everything is going to be non-toxic and healthy. But in the beginning, there was going to be a lot of detoxification taking place. So the focus was going to shift from a very reactive healthcare system. You got to be on death's doorstep in order for us to do anything about it, to preventative. And it's going to be all around. Like that is the prominent focus, is shifting to wellness and healing in all ways. I also saw energetic specialists to help people with the psychological and energetic components to illness, which kind of brings me back to the beginning when I was talking about everything being created at a conscious vibrational level, which is why you need to start envisioning this kind of stuff, even though you feel crazy and delusional because it's not happening right here, right now in front of your eyes. And the reality that we're living in right now is very, very different from what the new earth paradigm is. You need to use your conscious power to envision that. So the same way that consciousness, this last form of manifestation, is in its physical form, it's the same way when you have illness and disease in your body. It is always the stuff that you didn't take care of a spiritual level or an energetic level seeps into your emotional body. And if you don't release the emotions around it, which a lot of people don't, a lot of people are like, I don't have time to cry. It's inconvenient. I don't want to break that down. God knows what's going to happen if I get into my emotions. It's just going to be a never-ending river of tears and blah, blah, blah. There's so many people that shut that off. Then it has no place where to go. It just goes into your physical body. It has no other form of expression. So it gets deeply rooted in your physical body through tight muscles, ruptures, disease, illness, ambiguous health concerns, systems that are not functioning properly anymore, and breaking down of the physical body. And this is, again, something that I see every single day as a body healer. There was going to be no more fast fashion. The value was going to shift over to high vibrational fabrics like linen, cotton, wool. Everything was going to be created and made in a conscious way. And I also saw, like, I didn't know what they were called, but I saw other high vibrational fibers that were actually going to increase a person's vitality and balance their entire biofield around them. We already know this with fabrics. Polyester is vibrating at a frequency of like 15, which is actually lowering your vibration. And it's essentially like wearing disease or like lowering your body's frequency so that you're more susceptible to viruses, bacteria, disease. Something like linen or cotton, pure cotton, is very high vibrational, and it actually livens the cells up. The cells are vibrating at a frequency, optimal function for everything. The way that we deal with garbage and trash is going to be very different. In the beginning, this is something that we're going to have to work hard at, like cleaning up, but 99% of it is going to be able to be turned back into usable energy. This is the first stage of things. And I saw later on there's going to be free energy. So there's going to be no such thing as needing to deal with or to turn trash into usable energy. Yeah, I saw that first we're going to turn it into recyclable, usable energy. And then later down the road, we're actually going to have free energy. Yeah, that's my next point. So energy is free later down the road. We harness it from the ether. So like the ether, the dark matter, the field of consciousness is full of energy. And we were going to be able to use 0 point energy. 0 point energy is also a term that I refer to when we're talking about meditation. The easiest way for me to explain getting into 0 point energy is if you imagine north and south coming together as a node, and then that 0 point energy, and then it goes into this horizontal grid, this horizontal field where it's completely alchemized and everything is sort of flattened into nothing. And that's when you move through the gateway of you're no person, no place, no time, no thing. You're just pure consciousness, and you pierce through the veil and you just are part of the quantum conscious plasma. So yeah, there's a lot of energy potential there, not just for fueling things on earth here, but in meditation. That's when you break through. That's when you are a part of the conscious realm. There's no time. Time isn't linear. The 5D physics of the quantum realm no longer are the same physics that you see here on Earth. So things can happen instantaneously. It's essentially the miracle realm. I saw that all advertisements and ads and billboards and all of that were going to be positive messages to people. It was going to switch completely from a system of consumerism to like affirmation. So instead of seeing a billboard with a photoshopped, half naked woman making you feel like shit about yourself, it was going to be affirmative reminders of this world being beautiful. It was like affirmations. No deceptive messages or manipulations were going to be able to be used as part of advertising and marketing. All you have to do is look at the commercials these days, and it's as fake can be, right? Like I remember way back in the day them showing me a video in school where in order to make the milk look thick for a cereal advertisement, it was actually like liquid glue in slow motion, or even, you pop a pill and like, oh, I feel amazing. They go from a bent over position, or just manipulative tactics through advertising, wanting to sell things that don't actually work. And yeah, so all that was going to change. It was only going to be heart-aligned offerings and no manipulation, no deceptive messages. Everything was going to be geared around like full restoration, healing, high vibration. I saw many people gathering solely, purposefully, and intentionally for the raising of Earth's vibration, which kind of happens in churches. Now people come to church to pray, they come to worship, they come to praise. But essentially these were like, I was seeing like really high vibrational, like huge crowds gathering for music and dancing and just like lifting each other up and like and vibing. Like everything was going to be extremely high vibrational, but they would gather for the purposes of collectively raising the vibration of the planet instead of like everybody going to a concert and getting drunk and doing drugs and having booze and partying their butts off and that kind of thing. It was going to be like conscious gathering to raise the vibration of the planet, and it was gonna like you were gonna get high off your own supply and high off the frequencies. There's no need for drugs or anything like that. Everyone's gifts were okay. Yeah, let's go. I have 2 more points and then I really got to run because I'm late. As far as business goes, there was going to be mission led enterprises. All businesses operated accordingly to soul aligned purpose, and profit was secondary to planet and collective good. A lot of what I see in the New Earth economy is that the focus has completely shifted from what's in it for me, what can I get, what's the pay, what is it going to buy me, right? Like, is it going to buy me the house that I want? Is it going to buy me the car that I want? Is it going to sustain my family? Like, that was already a given. Like, that's already a given in the New Earth economy. It's just not even a question. Generally speaking, everybody has the desired lifestyle that they want. Everybody has the type of house that they want to live in, and not everybody's desires are the same. But the focus was not going to be on capitalism or anything like that. The main focus was going to be planetary and collective good. And we were like, everybody in the New Earth economy is able to enjoy a really good life. Travel was something that was regularly done because in order to activate different nodes around the earth and just be able to enjoy this beautiful planet that we live in, this beautiful earth, travel was just one of those things that was a given. And everybody, brings me to my last point, where everybody's gifts are valued and people's natural mastery comes online and they give what they want, what just overflows for them. Like for me, it's a really weird interest to have. People are like, oh, what are you into? Like, what's your hobby? I'm like, being a visionary for the New Earth and creating that with my consciousness and channeling spirit guides and Akashic records and the Galactic Federation. Like, what? That's my gift and it just overflows. I can't help but I want to share that with people. So like whatever your gift, whatever your mastery is, that's what you're going to want to share with the world. And then the rest of it is pretty like leisurely. Honestly, things flow synchronistically and harmoniously. Everything is in this fluid stage where it's good for me, it's good for you, and it's also good for the collective. I'm going to leave you with an intention that I share with every single one of my clients. I always say, in your greatest and highest good and in the greatest and highest good of all, because we never just want to be in your greatest and highest good. So I open my sessions like that and I close my sessions like that everything be done in your greatest and highest good and the highest good of the entire collective. So it's good for me, it's good for you, and the universe has a way of orchestrating it so that crazy universal synchronicities take place, and it turns out it is good for you and it's good for me, and it's just amazing. So I'm going to leave you with that. And I want to hear your comments. What are some visions that you have tuned into about the New Earth frequency? What are some of the things that you think we're going to see, visions that you've seen, downloads that you've gotten? I really want to hear in the comment section from you guys. Thank you for watching.